Alrighty. Welcome back, everyone, for more Pentiment. Sounds like we're going to get into some juicy stuff since last time we left off, we are basically the morning of whatever Inquisition this Archdeacon is going to do. And we'll, probably see if our friend dies. Or not, or us, or somebody else. So, it's gonna get a little spicy. And get back to work, indeed. Hello, Ursula. Hello, Andreas. Morning. I hope the day is treating you well. Well enough, though there's too much to do and not enough hours to do it all. The storm made such a mess of the town, and there's leaks in the roof at home, and there's all that wool, Lord. What's this about wool? The ewes are near to lambing, so we sheared them last week. I must have spent ages washing all that wool. Have you even smelled wet, dirty wool, Andreas? Ugh, there's nothing worse. Now that it's clean, we got to spin it, and that takes an age all its own. Lord, I don't know where I'll find the time. Surely you won't be doing it all yourself. Sometimes I forget you are from Nuremberg, Andreas. Clara, Hetty, Veronica, Kat, even little Ursula will be there, although she makes mischief more than she helps. At least the work goes quickly with the women working together. Lively conversation helps pass the time. That it does. Sometimes we even get visitors. I could be a visitor. Don't you let Clara catch you talking to me like that. Too bad other men in this town won't follow your example. You're welcome to come. I'm sure the others would be glad of your company, too. Johann Bauer will be there to keep an eye on us. As long as you stay outside, I can't see what harm you visiting would cause. Alright, count me in. I'm pleased to hear it. Everyone will be glad to see you, and I always appreciate your company. We meet at Johann Bauer's home. Come by in the morning or afternoon and speak to Johann. I should get back to work. It was a pleasure running into you, Andreas. Alright. What do we got going on out here? Hello, Peter. So we have... Let's check our journal. Okay, so when do we have to be at the thing for the investigation? At Nons. Okay. Okay, so I think we do still have the morning, at least. Well, I guess we can go over to Johann's then. I don't think we've actually talked to Johann at all. Hey, Andreas! How's it going, Hans? Keeping busy in the fields? I guess. Do you like it? What? Farming? I never really thought about it. Dad said it has to get done whether I like it or not. What do you think about it then? Uncle Franz said Brigitte might come help with the laundry today. She's Martin's wife, right? She seems nice. She is. Nicer than Veronica, anyway. I wish Brigitte lived here instead of her. God, I'm not gonna say that, Jesus. Till later, Hans. Bye. Andreas was just wondering when you'd turn up. Like Hegel said you'd come to watch them spin. Between you and me, Hetty's not about to let you go once she's got you in her claws. So I hope you've got a few hours to hunker down and get comfortable. I'm happy to spare a few hours. Hetty will be glad to hear it. She's got a fondness for you, heaven knows why. Now, I can't let you inside among the unmarried girls, being unmarried yourself. But you're welcome to watch through one of the windows. You don't need to worry about me. Good. Nothing matters more for a young woman than her reputation, and even Veronica won't be getting a poor one on my watch. That idiot never did see trouble. He didn't want to jump in feet first. You don't think he's gone to Innsbruck? Lord, no. Innsbruck's got to be small time to that little shit now. You think he has something more exciting in mind? Oh, hi, Ursula. It's a big world. Perhaps he intends to explore it or escape. That nobleman was just murdered up at the Abbey. Martin picked an awfully convenient time to run off. Oh, Lord. Andreas was friends with the nobleman. Do you think Martin could have, you know... What motivation could Martin have possibly had? It's not our place to say. Martin has a nasty little habit. He's gotten better. Once a thief, always a thief, I say. I saw Martin running away from the Abbey the morning Lawrence was killed. Martin might be a thief, but I don't think he's a murderer. He's a coward at heart. You think it takes a brave man to commit a murder? Not a brave man, but a bold one, and Martin is not that. He's your problem, Cat. What do you think? Would he have killed that man? Mom! This is a matter best left to the proper authorities, not a spinning bee. Imagine being tried by a gaggle of peasant women. That's unkind, Johann. It's the truth, isn't it? Doesn't matter if it hurts your feelings. She's right, Johann. You're being unfair. Remind me, Andreas, whose home are we in? Oh, lay off him, Johann. Jesus. Andreas, if you're just going to stand around, how about I put you to work? If you're going to gossip with the girls, you might as well spin with them, too. How does this work? Draft wool from the distaff and twist it tight and spin the tight yarn into the spindle. Once there's enough yarn on the spindle, collect at the bottom and begin again. Draft, twist, spin, collect, repeat. You'll figure it out. Draft. Oop. Oh, I see. Ah, okay, so we had to draft, twist, 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 draft, twist, twist, twist. Okay. You know, I saw Big York talking to that nun again. The young one. Heh, who can blame him? God damn it, Johann. He knows she's trouble. I told him to stay away. She's very pretty, isn't she? In a mean way? Pretty, perhaps, but a nun all the same. He knows better. When has that ever stopped Big York from doing anything? We have plenty of pretty girls here in town. My Veronica's not half bad. Mom! Let's not give Andreas any ideas, eh? Brita has been spending a lot of time at her mother's house lately. Agnes is glad to have her home, and Lucky's always treated her like a daughter, but I can tell they're concerned. Are Brigida and Martin having trouble, Veronica? That's one word for it. Brigida does what she can, but nothing pleases Martin. He won't lift a finger for her or Wolf. He's such an asshole. Well, that's not his business, is it? Women's work and all that. You ever seen him doing much men's work, Dad? Can't say I've ever seen him do much work at all. Perhaps Lucky can talk some sense into Martin. He's always been a devoted husband and father. Lucky Steinauer is a model of what a man should be. Is everyone behaving themselves in here? Oh, it's you. Afternoon, Otto. Come to see anyone special? Hello, Otto. It's good to see you. I heard laughing from through a road and knew you all had to be up to no good in here. And look, there's Andreas. Have you been minding your manners? Old Johann here's a real stickler for propriety. I've mostly been listening, actually. I think these women just know about everything that happens in Tassing. My Hetty's got little birdies up in every cave. Are you calling me a gossip? Are you pretending not to be one? Ugh. Not amused, Andreas? Don't suppose you're much of a family man, being an artist. Maybe you'd learn a little bit about honest work. You can get a family for yourself. We all know you work hard in the fields, Johann. No need to boast. He works hard in other places, too. Mom! You've been in town a few months, Andreas. Got any burning questions you've been meaning to ask? Clara mentioned the abbot suddenly started raising taxes? Raising them and changing their terms, yes. When Father Matthias was the abbot, he let us pay a portion of our taxes in crops. Naturally, the shit-for-brains abbot put an end to that this year. Even if our crops fail or produce less than we'd like, we still owe the abbey for use of the land. It doesn't make any sense how he can raise our taxes when the price of our grain does not rise too. Where does he think the money comes from? He doesn't think about the common folk at all. If it's not his abbey, it's not his problem. What about the miller? Doesn't he have some part to play in this? Lenhart derives a hard bargain. He won't give us a better deal just because the abbot raises our taxes. What we need is access to more land. Trying to bargain with Lenhart won't get us that. Lenhart is not a kind man, and he does not negotiate. He might if he carry a lot of debt, but his bargains are cruel. We pay him even before the abbot, though. I'm not sure why. Good. I have nothing Christian to say about Lenhart Miller, so I will say nothing at all. Except that I hope he falls into a fast-moving river during a flood and dashes his brains on the rocks. Jesus Christ, Hetty! Can we talk about something else? Come on, Andrea. Surely you've got better questions than that. The anchoress in the church. Do you know much about her? Oh, Sister Amelie. You know her, Veronica? We're not dear friends or anything, but sometimes she has these fits, you know. And if Father Thomas isn't there and I have time, I'll wait with her until he arrives. Since when? I didn't know anything about this. Ah, and here I thought you just adored the church building. You're so funny, Veronica. Don't make it sound weird. She's nice, and someone should be there when she's in pain, that's all. Father Thomas told me she receives visions from God. She has been blessed by the Lord. I prefer my blessings to come in the form of golden. She's been in Tassing for near on a decade, hasn't she? Since I was a girl, certainly. We've grown up with her in a way. Women in the maze. It's like something from a tale of knights and monsters. She's trapped in a box. I don't think there's anything romantic about that. Aren't you a little know-it-all? I didn't realize you were an expert. I don't know about you girls, but I'm sick of this wool. I'm sure you've all got other chores to get to. Glad to have that over with. Now I don't have to think about wool for a whole year. Oh, I was having such a nice time. I certainly learned a lot. Care for an escort home? Care for an escort home, Eva? I'd like that, yes. I expect everyone will be on their best behavior going home. They always are. Johann, please. Andreas, will I see you home for supper? I have something to take care of before, but I'll try to make it. This is very illuminating. Thank you all for letting me join you. Thanks for coming by, Andreas. Come back anytime. Unless you come on Abby business. Don't threaten him with a good time, Johann. Who should we eat with? Maybe the charcoal burners out there. That'd be kind of interesting, I'm sure. I think we can get to him this way, can't we? Or does this just end? Nope, that just ends. What? Huh, haven't seen you around before. Who are you? The executioner. Got a problem? Name's Rickard, if you care to know. Andres Mahler. Right. What do you want? I was curious to meet the man responsible for the execution. Ha! Go talk to the Archdeacon. I only swing the sword. It's not on my head. Don't you feel responsible for actually killing the guilty? Why should I? Besides a few jars of beer, I forget their faces anyways. God, I could use a drink. I'll leave you to it then. Hey, Master Mahler. Did you need something, Master Mahler? Would you mind if I joined you for a meal? Hey, are you sure? Why wouldn't I be? Most decent folk don't like to associate with my kind. They like the charcoal, but they hate the burner. That doesn't bother me. Well, then I suppose you're welcome. Is all right with you, Vaxlov? I suppose. And, Rickert? Why not? I'm just visiting anyway. Man has a right to eat where he wants. Alright, good. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ, our Lord. Amen. Vaxlav, we have room for more. It will be alright. If anyone starts any trouble, we've got an official killer to protect us. Heh, true enough, but the sword's no good in a fight, and I'm not much good in a brawl. Not many would share their table with an executioner. Thank you for it, Kohler. Just wish you had more beer. Ah, if I'd known, I could have brought some from town. He's already had enough. Too much. Anyway, we're glad to have you. How else will Vaxlov get his town gossip? Stop, I don't... Alright. I was only kidding. I didn't take you for much of a gossip, no offense. I'm not, and none taken. Don't sulk about it, then. What do we got here? We got mountain cheese, we got jerky, we got almonds. Going for the almonds. In truth, I'm the gossip master Mahler. I can't carouse with proper people, but I like to know what's going on. If you tell me some of your gossip, I'll tell you some of mine. That sounds reasonable. I've heard that Big Georg, the Gertner's boy, is up to mischief with one of the sisters at the Abbey. That doesn't surprise me. The good brothers and sisters may have the townsfolk fooled, but not Old Smoky. They get up to all sorts of things in these woods. Oh? Smoky. Probably shouldn't go telling other folks' tales, Kohler. Oh, please. No one around here cares if I live or die. They sure don't care about what I say to people. Until they do, fine, say what you want. You know that Malkin nun who do the shopping in town? Brother Walchlav and Sister Matilda? Well, they do more than shop together. They meet in the woods sometimes where no one can see, no one except Old Smoky. And do the things adults do, you understand. Christ, Kohler, do you think he's an 8-year-old? What? It's true. Good for them. If they're happy, what's the harm? They certainly seemed happy. Very happy, if you get my meaning. Heard anything else lately? Nothing else comes to mind. Good. Gossip makes trouble, and it can get people hurt. Or run off. Or killed. And a lot of times they didn't even deserve it. You two are like a couple of old women. No fun at all. No one's getting hurt. We're just telling stories. Alright then, what have you heard? Václav knows something about the prior, don't you, Václav? Why are you dragging me into this? Look, either you tell the story, or I'll tell my version of it. Stupid. Fine. A few weeks back, I saw that man, the Hungarian, in the woods. He was doing some kind of ritual with blood. That's not a good sign. The use of blood is associated with black magic. Black magic? Well, I don't care what color it is. It sounds bad to me. Whose blood was it? His. He cut his hand in the middle of the ritual. He drifted into a cup, I think. He kept repeating some phrase over and over. Sex lux tenebri or something. Lux? Do you mean lux? Et tenebris lux? It means light from darkness. Scared you didn't it, Václav? Well, I don't mind if people have strange beliefs. Let people do what they want. I just don't like blood. That'd be a difficult obstacle in my line of work. What's inside the body should stay inside. Some invocations require blood sacrifice so the spirit can work through it. Work through? Yes, to do the bidding of the practitioner. That sounds bad. You heard anything else lately? No, nothing. No matter, there's plenty more to tell. Well, the whole town's built on Roman ruins, right? Pieces of an old town sit underneath the abbey, too. Hundreds of years ago, the Romans built all sorts of things up here. Then one day, they just vanished. They built on their old bones. Have to be careful when you step in this forest, you're liable to fall in an old ruin. Or get scared halfway to the grave by a ghost. Puh. Priest told me there's no such thing as ghosts, Kohler. They're real. Smokey saw one. I have read many books that speak of the appearance of spirits of the dead, angels, and demons. They may be false, but certainly there are many who believe. Listen to Smokey and you might become a believer. It was late in the evening. The moon was high, painting the leaves all soft and silver. I heard a rustling in the meadow, like wind through the grass, like whispers. I looked up. This is my favorite part. This is good. There he was, standing in the meadow like he's carved out of moonlight, bent ear in half. He looks at me, and it's like I've been speared straight through to my soul. These two eyes like dark pools boring right into me. His edges, the borders of him, they shimmer. So hard it hurts to look straight at him. I can't help it. I blink. Like God himself closed my eyes. This chill wind blows through me, the very breath of winter. And when I look back, he's gone. Yeah. God damn it, Cole. Are you trying to scare everyone with that shit? I love that story. Huh. Maybe you really did see a ghost. Anyway, these ruins are haunted. Ruins haunted. Hey, Smokey, I have to get back to sharpening knives for the albums. Alright, enough talking. Good to see you, Master Mahler. Drop by again sometime. Thank you for having me, Smokey. Until next time. Well, that was enlightening. Good chat. Good chat indeed. Alrighty. Hold on. See if I can speak to people. Is everybody just saying good day? Nope. Yes, everybody's saying good day. Okay. Andreas? Excuse me, I'm here at the Archdeacon's request. He can wait a moment. Master Mahler, if you think I am unaware of your actions around this abbey in the past few days, you are mistaken. Oh? You exhumed a corpse of one of the brothers of this abbey. Technically, we didn't exhume the body, we just removed all the dirt on top of it. Andreas. We put it all back. Be quiet! You enlisted a simple-minded novice to assist you. Have you no shame? Clearly not. Well, even if I cannot make you pay for your obscenity, Volkbert will suffer for his role in it. Remarkably petty, Father. I'm impressed. I won't be lectured by the likes of you, Mahler. Now then, for all your meddling, you will not be welcome in Curacao after your commission is completed. I apologize. I was only trying to help Brother Piero. It's too late for apologies. Your days of interfering in the daily life of this abbey will end. It was never my intent to interfere, Father Abbot. Leave you to the Archdeacon now. Try not to perjure yourself. God save you, Andreas Mahler. Please state your name for our records. Andreas Mahler, artist, recently of Venice. Really? What brought you all the way up to Upper Bavaria? I'm heading back to Nuremberg to finish my apprenticeship and open a workshop. It's the end of my Wanderjahre. Very well, thank you. Arnold, please write that down. I think we're ready to begin. Of course, Your Reverence. Now then, Master Mahler, what was your relation to Lorenz, the Baron Rothvogel? I only knew him for a day. We were on friendly terms. Do you feel you have the sense of him as a person? Yes, Your Reverence. How would you characterize him? Fine man, a lover of art and knowledge. That was the opinion of Father Gernot and Lady Salomea as well. Do you believe everyone regarded him with the same warmth? No, Your Reverence. It's clear that some locals had little love for the Baron. As unfortunate as that is, such knowledge may be a boon to us at this moment. The Baron Rothvogel was murdered here, in this very room. Someone did it. Father Gernot believes it was one of his monks, Brother Piero. I have met with Brother Piero and questioned him at length. While it seems unlikely that a man of his age and temperament could murder the Baron, he was discovered in flagrante delicto. Technically, he discovered the corpus delicti, but was not caught in flagrante delicto. Master Mahler, I am not interested in your clarifications, technical or otherwise, on matters of Latin or law. If you wish to advocate on behalf of Brother Piero, I suggest shutting your mouth until I ask you a question. Piero had reasons to resent the Baron, the loss of his work, the insistence on discussing the writings of the troublemaker from Wittenberg. And as for his age and infirmity, I myself have read of many cases in which a man of modest strength succumbs to the temptations of the devil. Once seized by such devilish fever, the poor sinner gains infernal power that allows him to inflict grievous wounds, sometimes fatal. What I am saying is that, in spite of the curious circumstances, Brother Piero is the most plausible perpetrator of this most vile act. I understand that you are on friendly terms with Brother Piero. You also interact with the Baron both in town and the Abbey. Did you witness anything that suggests someone else could have murdered Baron Rothvogel? The Abbey's prior, Ferenc, was behaving suspiciously on the day of the Baron's arrival. He may have had a motive. That is an extraordinary claim, Andreas. The Abbot speaks highly of the Prior, and he oversees both your and Brother Pierre's work, does he not? Yes, but Prior Ferenc's role in the scriptorium has little bearing on his motive. An extraordinary claim requires extraordinary evidence for me to take it seriously. Why should I take the word of an artist over a respected officer of this abbey? I can provide evidence of Prior Ferenc's motive. Please do so. Baron Rothvogel and Prior Ferenc were exchanging letters about performing a magical ritual during the Baron's visit. You have proof of this? I have a letter the Prior wrote to the Baron. In it, the Prior mentions that he will not perform the ritual for the Baron, even if the Baron does follow through on a threat to implicate him to Inquisitors in Innsbruck. An implication of necromancy is a serious matter. The Prior's position would have been in peril, possibly even his life. And how do you believe Prior Ferenc would have killed the Baron? I pray you will not say it was a magical ritual. I found a silver rod that belongs to Prior Ferenc. It has dried blood on it. A silver rod? Likely a magical tool of some sort, but it's of size and weight appropriate for the head wound that the Baron received. How did you come to possess this item? In truth, it involved a little grave digging. Master Mahler, while it is not my place or my task to hold you live of what you've done, I will be informing Father Gurnet. Is there anything else to say about the Prior? No, Your Reverence. Very well. Who else may have wanted to see the Baron dead? A local thief, Martin Bauer. Yes, his name has come up in my inquiries. My understanding is that he absconded with some of the Baron's valuables. Arnold? Yes, Your Reverence, a silver ring, a gold ring, 12 golden, 10 groschen, and a book intended as a gift for the Abbey. Thank you. It is my understanding that this boy was known as a thief, but also as a coward, and that the theft was from the Abbey's guest house after the Baron had already left it. Even so, it's still possible he could have committed the murder, Your Reverence. Yes, it's possible, but very unlikely in my judgment. I'm not treating him as a serious suspect for the Baron's murder at this time. Who else may have wanted to see the Baron dead? Lucky Steinauer argued with the Baron. Who is Lucky Steinauer? I don't believe his name came up during questioning. The town stonemason. Ah, right. What is the connection between the town stonemason and the nobleman from Worms? I and at least 3 farmers in the village saw Lucky arguing with the Baron when he came to town. About what? I don't know, but the argument was heated. Hetty and Veronica Bauern witnessed it. You mentioned a third witness? Yes, Martin Bauer, unfortunately. Ah, yes, as discussed, the boy fled. Still, we will question the woman about what they saw. And how do you propose that the stonemason killed the Baron? He's quite strong. Yes? I'm simply saying it's possible he could have committed the murder. Your opinion is noted, Master Mahler. Is there anyone else you could think of who may have wanted to harm the Baron? Yeah, I think we're going to leave out the nun. Very well. Are you aware of anything else that might shed some light on this case? Has Brother Florian told you about the note he found in the Baron's clothing? Yes, Brother Florian explained how he came to find it and told me its contents. Master Adelhage has entered his testimony in our register. I don't understand the implications. Who is the innocent? It is not clear to me either, Your Reverence. Do you believe the murderer wrote it? Whoever wrote it was a talented scribe. I understand Kirsau has 2, the elderly Brother Adok and the younger Brother Guy. To be frank, Your Reverence, neither man has the skill to write in this way. There's something else about it, too. The style is just different. It's unlike Adok and Guy's writing, unlike mine. Yes, well, whatever the particulars, it seems it will remain a mystery that stands apart from the commission of the murder. Unfortunately, there is more to tell. I found more notes. Notes written in the same hand, on the same type of parchment, to those who had motive to kill the Baron. That is deeply troubling, but again beyond the bounds of my investigation. In any case, I thank you for bringing it to my attention. Of course, Your Reverence. Thank you again for your time, Master Mahler. Would it be impertinent of me to opine on who the killer is? Not at all. You are an educated man and have conducted yourself appropriately in this inquiry. I reserve final judgment, of course, but who do you believe killed the Baron? Considering all the evidence... Yeah, definitely leaning towards Ferenc. Prior Ferenc, Your Reverence. Others may have had motive, but Prior Ferenc had the most to lose. Noted. Your contributions to this inquiry are appreciated. Thank you for your time and candor. You are quite welcome, Your Reverence. Until later, Master Mahler. Until then, Your Reverence. Oh boy. Andreas! I didn't think you were coming to this. I didn't think I was either. I suppose I wanted to see how this ends after all. It was the prior of the abbey, if you can believe it. Did you ever talk with him in the abbey, Andreas? You missed the trial, Andreas. That archdeacon read all the charges and found him guilty. I worked with him every day. He was obsessed with dark magic. It was only a matter of time before he got caught. About time, then. Oh, here comes the procession. Did I miss anything? No, you're fine. Andreas? Otto? Agnus Dei, que tollis peccata mundi. I didn't do this, God knows it, even if you do not. Agnus Dei, que tollis peccata mundi, miserere nobis. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. Agnus Dei, que tollis peccata mundi. Running like a chicken, crying like a woman. Silence, silence. I order the executioner to carry out his duty. I warrant him peace and safe conduct, whatever may befall him. My God! My God! Hold still. Damn. My Lord Judge, have executed well. You've executed as judgment and law has required. For that, I thank God and my master who has taught me such art. Damn. I know this was your doing, Andreas. If you want to blame someone, blame yourself. You turned a blind eye to his activities for years. How dare you? Do you understand the pressure I'm under to keep this abbey together? Does that mean you should ignore the fact that your prior studies black magic or that he killed a man? You are no longer welcome at Kiersau, Andreas Mahler. I will send your final payment to the Gürtners. May you have a long and successful career in Nuremberg, and may you never travel this way again. Andreas! Has the time come for you to leave us? I am afraid so, Brother Piero. This farewell will have to be brief. Father Gernot made it clear I was no longer welcome at Kiersau. I pray the time will soften Father Abbott's heart. I hope he eventually realizes you were only trying to help me. This is a sad parting, but inevitable. I'd hoped you would stay a bit longer. But the world needs you more than Kiersau does. You have grown beyond this old abbey and become a master in your own right. I will miss you, my son. As I will you. Come, your masterpiece is complete. May I see it one last time before you go? Please, I value your assessment. The opinion of one old monk matters little. All the same, I'm excited to see it finished at last. Oh, damn. It is a masterpiece, truly worthy of the word. And it appears you took my advice to heart. And what advice was that? To put yourself into the work. Not just to interpret another artist's work, but to transform it into something true. This shows the world as it is, as you've seen it, even if it is not what we may want to see. Though it's not my place to say so, I am proud of you, Andreas. What's this? A scrap of parchment. Do not return here. A warning? Oh shit. Whose hand is this? It doesn't look like Brother Adok's or Brother Guy's. Brother Florian and I found a similar note in the Baron's clothing. And I found more notes delivered to others while I was investigating. They must have been written by someone who knew the darkest secrets of the town and this abbey. They tugged at those secrets to kill the Baron, like someone pulling at threads that's been buried in the past. A frightening thought, but who would do such a thing? I wish I knew. Do not trouble yourself overly about it. Your future lies outside these walls. I hope that you will have time to visit me once or twice in your travels before the Lord takes me. Come as often as I can, assuming Father Gurnet doesn't forbid it. We must have faith that better days lie ahead for all of us. God bless you, Andreas Mahler. Thank you for your friendship. Until next time. Oh, time skip? Are you all right, Master Andreas? What? Are you all right, Master Andreas? Yes, thank you. I was just remembering him. Trying to, anyway. It doesn't come easily anymore. Oh, would you like me to leave you alone? No, no, Caspar, it's not necessary. There's nothing to be done about it now. It's too late. Like so many things. Andreas Mahler, I never expected to see your face here again. Have you been in Nuremberg these last 7 years? No, Nuremberg for a few years, but I received some lucrative commissions abroad. Ooh. Go Poland. I was in Krakow, the court of King Sigismund. He has a great passion for humanism as well as new Italian and German art. Did you have occasion to paint the king's physician, Jacob Isaac? Not to paint, but I did meet him. I was surprised to learn King Sigismund had ennobled him. An interesting man. You don't meet any Jews in nobility in Poland or elsewhere. Poland is one of the few places Jews may live in peace. Provided the king doesn't have a change of heart. I'm surprised you care at all. In spite of your extensive travels and success, you're still not welcome at Kirsau. The abbot hasn't forgotten what happened. 7 years isn't all that long. I simply wanted to pay my respects to an old friend. Surely you understand that. I understand why Father Abbot expelled you from the abbey. What are you expecting? A hero's welcome? Fine. Tell Father Gernot I'll be staying at the Landhaus for a day or two before I move on. The Golden Hand, I'll tell him, but I can't imagine he'll care. Why is he so rude? God bless you. Now be off. Damn, 7-year time skip. Okay. Interesting. That monk seemed unhappy to see you, Master Andreas. Why is the abbot so angry with you? Toward the end of my stay in Tassing, there was a murder at Kirsau Abbey, a nobleman. Father Gernot panicked and accused my friend, Brother Piero, of committing the crime. I helped convince the investigating archdeacon that another monk was responsible, Friar Ferenc. He was executed for the crime. You got someone killed? It was that or let an innocent man die. That's not much of a choice. Still, I would have been scared. Why didn't you mention it before? Well, I suppose it must have been a hard situation about if the abbot is still this mad at you. I had to make some difficult choices. Maybe they were the wrong ones. I've had to live with that. Why did we come here if you're not welcome? I wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero. And, to be honest, I'm not looking forward to returning to Nuremberg. This commission is an obscene vanity piece under the pretext of a religious scene. My patrons just want to celebrate themselves and their wealth. I dread each new commission more than the last. Every step I take towards home is agonizing. But, Master, you're famous and rich. Your work is wonderful. When I saw your altarpiece in Nuremberg, I begged my father to help me become your apprentice. I don't understand how you could accomplish all that you have, and be unhappy. I know it must be hard to believe. I was once very much like you. Once I wanted this life so much it consumed my every waking thought. I don't know if I've changed, or if what I wanted was never really real. Maybe I've been a fool this whole time. I want life as an artist to be better for you, Caspar. Learn from my mistakes, all right? All right. Yes, Master Andreas. I shouldn't be burdening you with such dark thoughts, Caspar. Come, let's visit my old friend Klaus. It's been too long. As you like, Master Andreas. Hello, Andreas. How are you enjoying your stay? It's been wonderful, Hannah. Thank you. Oh, good. You're in the best room we have. I'm glad it's to your liking. Was there anything else? No, thank you. Until later. Until then. Good day, Master Mahler. Ah, Master Mahler, is it? Hello, welcome to the Golden Hand. I am Nico Berger. I own this land house and run it with my wife Hannah and our son Killian. I believe my boy helped you to your room. Is it to your liking? It's lovely, thank you. I'm glad to hear it, glad to hear it. When you arrived in town, one of the locals said you lived here a few years back. Yes, I worked for the Abbey as an artist. Ah, I see. I heard that you were involved in solving a murder. Yes, out of necessity. The wrong man was being accused of the crime, a friend of mine. It was the prior at the Abbey that the Baron was sacrificed. Baron was a sacrifice in some diabolical spell. No, he wasn't casting a spell. The Baron wasn't a sacrifice. Where did you hear that? Oh, bits and pieces people have said here and there. Sounds like the story has changed in the last 7 years. I meant no offense, Master Mahler. I just find it to be an interesting story. It's not a story. It's something that happened. 2 people died. Of course, of course. Again, I meant no offense. Well, I'll leave you to your day. Until later. Until then. Who's this guy? Nice beard. Interesting. Well, this will be kind of, I wasn't expecting a time skip. Just do it. You know it's the right thing. I don't understand why this is so hard for you. Otto, I'm scared. It's dangerous to cross the Abbot. Would you prefer the alternative? You don't need to do that, Otto. I understand. I'm just saying... Andreas? Andreas Mahler? It's good to see you again, old friend. Otto, you're looking well. This is my apprentice, Caspar Ziegler from Salzburg. Good day. Ah, that answers that. I thought he might be your son. We don't grow them that fast, even in Nuremberg. They grow fast. They grow fast enough around here. Eva and I just had our first little Otto, though. We call him Otz. Congratulations to you both. That's wonderful news. Thank you. It's been a trial with Dad gone, but Clara and Ursula help out where they can. I'm sorry to hear about your father. That's life. At least he's with the Lord now, free of his aches and pains. I know Eva wrote to you about my father's death, Andreas. Why didn't you write back? I'm sorry. Things got busy after I left Hassing. Sorry to interrupt, but I should be heading back. I feel like I should remember your face, but I can't place it. Oh, don't trouble yourself. It's me, Martin, remember? I figured that was Martin. Oh, yes, of course. Hello, Martin. Hello. Sorry to run, but I have to get these sheep back to the farm. As much as I love whiling away 2 hours in the meadow, I have a lot to attend to. Otto, I'll see you at the meeting later. Andreas, until later. Until then. Pain in my ass. I can't believe how much Martin's changed. True, he's like the prodigal son, took over his father's farm after Franz died. He's been a much better husband to Brigitte and provider for Kat. Franz died? How's little Wolf doing? Franz's heart gave out, local legend said he was screaming at Kat and he dropped dead. Well, that's not surprising. Not that I want anyone to suffer, but you were sad to see that man go. And little Wolf, he died a few months after you left. I think Martin still feels guilty about it. Is something happening in town? You've picked an interesting time to visit. Come by the town commons. I think you'll be interested to hear what I have to say. I'll consider it, thanks. Hope to see you there. Until later. We can pet the cat! Schlau still lives! Alright, well, let's look around a little. There's nothing down here. Okay, probably shouldn't go up to the Abbey right now. Anybody down here at the waterfall? That seems... That little stone with 2 innocents on it seems suspicious, given the notes we had 7 years ago. What about the shrine? Shrine still shrining? Nobody here. Andreas, I had heard you were back in Tassing. God bless you. Good morning, Father Thomas. You're not going to try to get me to come to Mass, are you? I would hope that in the many years since you were with us in Tassing, attending Mass has become a habit. Yes, and I'm sure Master Mahler isn't staying through Sunday. Hopefully this visit will be less eventful than your last. Tassing has enough going on as it is. We have our bonfire for St. John's Eve tomorrow night. People get up to all sorts of mischief, and then it's my job to hear their confessions in the days that follow. Not to mention the grumbling the peasants are making. That's just talk, brother. No need to scare our guests with such things. I'm sure if there is trouble, Master Mahler will be the first to stick his nose in it. It's easy enough for you to come and go. You don't have to live with the consequences. After Ferenc was executed, Father Abbot made Matthew the new prior. Ferenc may have been annoying, but Matthew's even worse. Thanks for that. It would have been better for everyone if you'd simply allowed Brother Piero to die. After all, he only had a few years left anyway. Nothing to say for yourself? Friends, there's no need for such ire. Forgive me, Father Thomas, I let my passions get the better of me. Besides, that's not even why I came down here. I actually came to speak to you on the Abbot's behalf, Andreas. Father Gernot would like to invite you to come to the library tomorrow morning if you're interested in purchasing some of our books. The Abbot just had me run off, and now he wants me back? I can't know the mind of the Father Abbot. I'll just do what he asks. The library's not quite ready yet, as it does not seem much use. If you could come by tomorrow morning, Mother Illuminata can show you what's available. Mother Illuminata? Yes, since Mother Cecilia passed a few years ago. Well, I suppose Illuminata knows the library better than anyone. Alright, tell him to expect me. I'm sure he'll be overjoyed. Andreas, I apologize for my harsh words before. It was rash. Father Pierre was a pious man and a skilled artist. We miss him. I appreciate you saying that. I miss him too. Excellent. I'm so glad you two were able to work things out. Oh, Father Thomas, do you have a moment to speak inside the church? Yes, I think so. Why? A private matter. Oh, of course, of course. Until tomorrow, God bless you, Andreas. Drucker's house seems nicer than last time we were here. Andreas! I'm sorry, Klaus. I know it's been a long time. 7 years. 7 years and nothing from my friend Andreas. First Bert, then Marie, just after Magdalene was born. My wife always thought highly of you. I can't believe you didn't write back after I told you they'd passed. I'm sorry, I should have written. Yes, you should have. Too late for that now, though. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, hello. She likes you. Your business seems to have grown. What are you printing? 12 articles. They originally written by Swabian peasants who were demanding changes from their lords. Freedom from serfdom, freedom to hunt and use the woods as God intended, freedom from compulsory labor. Abolition of the inheritance tax, fair appraisal of rent, a return of property to common use and ownership. Bavaria isn't Swabia, but their complaints are just as valid for the peasants of Tassing. Ah, so this is Otto's cause. He's caught your ear already, The abbot has been squeezing the peasants for years. Now he's squeezing the townsfolk, and we're pushing back. Their cause is righteous, Andreas. If you haven't seen the Gartners lately, you should visit them. And Otto had you print these? Yes, why? I didn't think he could read. He can't, but just about everyone else in town can. He speaks, I print. Just trying to do my part, I suppose. I'm sorry, I'm still not in the mood for this late reunion. Come back for dinner tomorrow. You should go to the Commons, hear what Otto has to say. It's worth hearing. I understand. Until later, Klaus. Until then. Alright. Communist uprising in Tassing. Nice. So many people. Everyone, listen. We all know why we're here. Nothing I'm going to say will be a surprise. Nothing I'm going to say hasn't already been spoken behind closed doors whispered to your neighbors. Nothing I'm going to say is untruthful, so it's time we started saying it openly. Year after year, the Abbey has found new ways to tax the peasants. Piece by piece, the Abbey has taken away our rights to use God's forest to support our families. Law after law gets heaped upon us, restrictions on how we can pay rent, limits on where we can move, who we can wed. And now the death tax, which once claimed only our best animals and garment, takes half our estate. No consideration for widows, no consideration for children. What about the town council, the Rathaus? Surely that's a sign that the abbot wishes to share his power and listen to our grievances? You have a good heart, Ulrich. You always want to see the best in people. But no. The council is a way for the abbot to divide us and pit the favored few against the many. This is not charity. Only greed and desperation drive Father Gurnet. You'd think that if the abbot could, he'd steal a dead man's soul from heaven itself. And when we protested, what did Father Gurnet do? He locked the shrine of St. Moritz. He won't allow the people of this town, the farmers of this land, to pray before the relic. Now when we most need the intercession of our saint, the abbot has shut us out. Father Gurnet's actions aren't just. They aren't Christian. We've endured this abuse for too long. It's time we let the abbot know we won't take it anymore. Too right. Here, here. Yes! This has to stop. Let's fix this.
Stop! This is foolish. Soldiers are already patrolling nearby towns. If you push against the abbey, you'll incur the Duke's wrath. You could get the town raids and everyone killed.
Hannah's right. The Duke is a powerful force in Bavaria. You're playing a dangerous game, Otto. You lot are no match for trained soldiers. If you don't relent, you'll be grounded to dust like Swabian peasants.
We could always grind you up instead, Lenhart. You might be right if there are already soldiers about. I don't know about this. You have to stand for what is right. God's on our side.
Don't be shy. Speak up if you have cause.
We won't be overrun. The peasants of Salzburg were able to take the city and have their cause heard.
If the people can get the Archbishop of Salzburg to listen to them, we can do the same with the abbot.
Master Andreas, do you think my family in Salzburg is all right?
I don't know, Caspar, but we can find out.
All right. Enough is enough. We can't stand by while the abbot continues treating us poorly. People all over Swabia are taking back their God-given rights. Why shouldn't we do the same? A righteous cause. We deserve better. Well spoken, Martin. Everyone ought to consider what he said. Martin has proved dependable these last few years. But if the words of men can persuade you, perhaps a sign from a greater power will. The abbot may have locked us out of the saint's shrine, but God has shown me that he is with us. I think that's all I should say for now. Thank you for coming.
Oh? What's up? Otto got up his sleeve.
Good day, Andreas. Clara, it's been too long. It's lovely to see you again. Hello, Andreas. I'm surprised to see you after your long absence from Castle. At this rate, we thought we'd never see you again. I was gone too long. I'm sorry for not sending word of my arrival. You certainly did pick an odd time to visit. We're in the middle of a strange season.
Ah, you've found the Gertners.
Their speech was very rousing, Otto. I swear they get better each time.
I hope the Duke doesn't catch word of this, Otto. The town could suffer for it.
We're past the point of caring, Mahler. If you were in our position, you'd understand that.
You're right. It's not my place to judge. I'm just concerned.
It's appreciated, but we know the risks. Otto, did you really see a sign from God? Is that true? It is, Andreas, I swear. Come, talk to me later. I'll tell you what I can, all right? Anyway, Andreas, you and yours should come by the house for supper. We'd be delighted to have you.
That sounds wonderful. We'll be there, Clara. Andreas, you're back in Tassing?
Just for a few days. I wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero.
Oh, yes, Brother Piero. What a talent with color. I'm sorry, Andreas. He was a sweet old man. I talk to him sometimes in my breaks up at the Abbey.
I'm surprised Prior Farrington give you an earful.
Well, he did before the, unpleasantness. I'm sure you know it shook things up at the Abbey for a while.
Brother Guy made it clear I wasn't welcome at Kearsarge when I arrived, so yes. For what it's worth, you're still welcome in Tassing, anyway. Mathio's prior now, still strict, but a bit quieter about it.
Matthew has always struck me as quite pious.
True, you wouldn't think piety could be uncommon in an abbey, but with Father Gurnet.
Oh, are you with the peasants, Endress?
Well, of course, Gurnet has been running them into the ground. On top of that, we can't even use the forest anymore. Any of us used to be able to go fishing in there, not anymore.
How far are you going to take this?
Well, I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not leading the thing. But I trust Nato, and the peasants do too.
He's a good man.
The whole town knows it. Even Lenhart, though he wouldn't admit it. Alright, Andreas. Time for me to get back to work. It was good seeing you.
Till later. Hello. Hello, Ursula. Do you remember me? No. Should I? No, you were very young when I was last in Tassing. I boarded in your parents' house. Oh, the artist, Andreas, right? Mom and Dad sometimes talk about you. They said you went away for more training. What was that like? Well, while I was in Krakow, I learned a new printing technique. No, not about the art, Andreas, about your travels. Alright, alright. The city's market square is almost bigger than Tassing. Always full of merchants from all over the continent. There are even plans to build a clock tower near the church in the square. Like the one Baltus says he wants to make. Maybe? It must be a huge city if the market is bigger than Tassing. I wish I could see it. Maybe you will one day. Dad says we're lucky to make it through the winter, but I think he's exaggerating. Andreas, can I ask you something? Of course. Do you know the stories? Hold on. One second. Okay. Sorry about that. Whew. Oh, I guess I can... Hold on. Sorry, I had to mark off something here. Let's see. Okay. You know the stories about Perkta and the Wild Hunt? Little. I didn't learn about them until I lived here. Why? Are they bad? Bad how? Well, my grandpa tells me things about Perkta and spirits and charms, and the old woman Ottilia, she talks about them too, and says all these words I don't understand. She told me they're part of the old ways or something. So, why do you think they're bad? Well, my dad says I shouldn't listen to any of it. He said it's nonsense, and that Father Thomas would be mad. He said only tolerates it with old people, because they're too stuck in their ways. I don't want to get in trouble, but Grandpa says if I don't learn the old ways, they'll just be forgotten. So are they bad? No, they're not bad. You should learn what you can while you can. Really? I mean, why not? I'm sorry, forget I said anything. Until later. Hello, ill Peter.
Eh? Ha! Oh, it's you, the artist from a few years ago.
Yes, Andreas Mahler. I'm surprised you remember me.
Huh, everyone seems to think my mind is going, but it's still sharp as a nail. Andreas makes nails, you know, good man.
Oh, right.
Are you staying with my family again?
No, I'm staying at the Golden Hand.
Ha! Those misers charge us just as much as the pilgrims for a drink, but won't support my son in his cause. That new abbot must have gotten to them, the bastard.
Why do you hate the abbot so much?
Everything went to shit after Father Matthias died. That man, God rest his soul, never increased taxes. He might have asked for a fifth and harder winters, but we were a tithe and harder winters, but we were happy to help the abbey then. We could take from the forest as we needed. Brother Florian used to help us out in our illnesses. Let's follow the ways of our forefathers. A true Christian, that old abbot.
And then?
Father Gernot promised he would keep everything between the abbey and us peasants the same, and we were foolish enough to believe him. At first he refused to allow Florian to come down anymore. Taxes got higher. He stopped allowing us to pay in goods and livestock. It only takes coin, so we can come buy enough of that in a year to pay our rents alone. That bastard doesn't give a damn about us. Not how Father Matthias did.
Father Gernot's been an ass longer than I thought.
You just talked to my son. She'd help him stop that bastard abbot. Alright.
Hello, Andreas. Good to see you back in town. Hello, Veronica. How have you been? Oh, you know, pulled every which way. Mom's been a cow about when I'll give her grandchildren, so I'm not doing enough work already. You shouldn't rush something as important as children. That's what I keep telling her. Maybe you should talk to her, Andreas. If it comes from someone as successful as you, maybe she'll pay attention. Anyway, I should get back to work. We're all preparing for the festival. I'll leave it to you. I'll leave you to it until later, Veronica. Hello again, Andreas. We're about to sit down to supper. Care to join? It's truly a blessing to have everyone back together again, if only briefly.
Keep an eye on that boy of yours, Andreas. See that he minds how much he takes. Young boys eat too goddamn much.
Peter, stop that. Andreas is our guest. Why don't you lead us in grace?
Fine. Bless us, O Lord, and these are gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty. We pray you again for our beloved Christine, gone now these many years. Please help me protect my family in these difficult times. Through Christ our Lord, amen.
Master Andreas, why are we the only ones with bread? The Gertners can't afford a lot of bread. They're being polite. Andreas, it's so good to have you at our table again. And with another guest. Is this young man your assistant? Casper, yes, he's my apprentice. Ah, that would explain why I saw him writing in the little journal. I remember you did the same when you lived here. Do you still draw in your journal, Andreas? Oh, sometimes when the mood strikes.
Wouldn't that be nice, Jorg, if only we had to work when the whim took us. And we toil all day, and that despicable abbot is starving us while he sips on his sacramental fucking wine.
Lay off him, Dad. He's only just got here. How have the fates been treating you these last few years?
The Lord is testing us with another hard season, I'm afraid. That's one way to say it, and miserable as shit all around.
Maybe you should be resting, Grandpa.
If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna do it sitting up at my own goddamn table.
Whole family's been ill. Andreas, Peter, his father, and Ursula with an ague, and me. And Clara lost a child in childbed a year ago now. tragedy. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you, Andreas. It was some time ago, but, well, such things linger. It was monstrous. Monstrous! Seems the Lord rarely looks on Tassing any longer. That's why it's time for us to take matters into our own hands. We're eating, not at the table. Please, can we not talk about this now? Jorg here was married while you were away, Andreas. Really? To whom? To me, Andreas. Why else do you think I'm here? Of course, you two make a good match. Jorg has been good to me. There aren't many other options in Tassing anyway. It's been a couple springs, but I'm still not used to being married. Congratulations, Jorg. I'm happy for you. Thanks, Andreas. It's been our one blessing in this dark season. Children soon to come, I hope. What? I don't get it. Do you? Oh, forget it, Ursula. What have you been up to, Andreas? Well, I've been so busy with Casper's apprenticeship, I never have time to myself. Better not have any children, then. I do my best to be helpful. Ursula, maybe you should excuse yourself and rest. You're sick. But, Mom, I'm still hungry. Here, Ursula, you can have mine. It's not fair that nobody else gets any bread besides Master Andreas and me. Stop! Ursula, give it back to him. I'm not going to have people in this town saying we can't feed our goddamn guests. Besides, you'll have to work to get back to, don't we? Good. Time to get back to it, Andreas. We'll see you and your boy later. My apologies, Peter. We don't mean to overstay our welcome. It's alright, Andreas. He's just in a bad mood. It was lovely to see you again. Just thank you for coming. Will you be staying for St. John's Eve? I think so. Good. Hopefully we'll see you later. Man. Times are tough around Old Tassing. The sin of Saul! The sin of Saul! Master, do you hear that? It sounded like someone crying out. I think it's Sister Amelie. She's a mystic. She may be having one of her visions. Sister Amelie, are you alright? The Philistines, this is the hand of God. Compline, compline. Sister, is something happening at Compline? It's Compline right now. No! Sister Emily? You're the artist, Andreas. Are you alright, sister? I'm tired. Was I talking? Yes, you were having a vision. You mentioned the sin of Saul, the Philistines, and Compline. Oh, I wish Father Thomas were here. Would you like Casper to go get him? If he could, yes, his house is just around the corner. Casper, run and get Father Thomas. Yes, Master Andreas. Your son? My apprentice, but I think of him like a son. He seems eager to please you. He is quite enthusiastic, yes. I have little knowledge of the working of masters and apprentices. My world is one of spirit, decoupled from the march of life and death. I see and hear your world turning from this little window, but they are mercifully small glimpses. Mercifully small? The cell allows me to contemplate mysteries without the noise of the outside world polluting my thoughts. Your world is the world of normal lives and normal thoughts. It can be difficult to hear the divine, much less make sense of it. I have no will to be part of that world. I strive to have no will at all, but to subordinate myself to the will of God. My will is... my will is His will. He graces me with visions, confusing though they may be. Surely it could be interpreted with scripture. Few things are certain in this world. Scripture is a guide, an aid, not a key to unlock all the mysteries of heaven and earth. I have faith that what he wants to be revealed will be revealed in time. Until then, my responsibility is to contemplate these revelations and seek counsel in Father Thomas. Sister, what is that hole in the ground? My grave. I dug it before Father Thomas read me my funeral rites. Before I was enclosed here, I dig a little more in it each day. Most people find it shocking, but this is my devotion, my vocation. Once someone finds their calling, they must answer it fully. Of course, how could we do otherwise? We all find ways to stray by inches or feet. We all have our own course to find through this life, but we all end in the same place. I just had to face this reality earlier than most. Is your calling in question, Andreas? Is your life? Both, I think. I've lost my love. My love for art, love for family, love for anything. These last 7 years have been hard. It was all too much for me. Don't lose hope, Andreas. The human heart is no small thing. It can hold so much. Andreas, thank you for sending Caspar. She asked for you. Are you all right, Sister Amelie? Yes, Father, I may have had another vision. Andreas said I spoke of the sin of Saul, Philistines, and Compline. What do you think it means, Father? Andreas, Caspar, could you excuse us? We appreciate your help, but I must tend to her now in the church. Of course, Father. Good evening. God bless you both. Master Andreas, I'm confused. What did that all mean? I'm not sure, but the last time I heard Sister Amelie have a vision, it was just before the Baron was murdered. What? Do you think Sister Amelie could be receiving warnings? No, that's too simple an explanation. There are layers and layers to divine messages. No revelation with real power or prophecy could be understood plainly. The meaning must be hidden or implied. Sounds complicated. Come, Caspar, let's retire for the evening. I'm curious. Do we see anything? Is there anything around here? Can we sneak into the library? Nope. Everything's closed. Okay. We both have our little hats. Okay. So we got Illuminati in the library. Klaus. For dinner. Commons later. Okay. Did you drop this, Caspar? No, I don't think so, Master. Ah, great. That script looks beautiful, Master Andreas. Did you write that? You were warned. Warned? What does that mean? Warned about what? It has to do with the murder that happened last time I was here. How? I thought they caught the murderer. Yes, but it's complicated. Let's just head up to the library, Caspar. All right, Master. God damn it. This guy over here still here? Andreas? Brother Guy, what are you doing out here? Father Gurnet asked me to inform the townsfolk that the shrine is closed. Has something happened to the shrine? Father Abbot has ordered that we bring the hand into the church. Pilgrims are still welcome to come in and visit the relic, but it is off limits to the townsfolk. What? Why? The abbot has had enough of the peasants and townsfolk rebelling against the abbey. He is their rightful lord. The abbot's been more than generous, but he will not let the 12 articles drivel pass. The abbot refuses to leave the relic at risk of destruction. The hand of St. Moritz is the only thing keeping the abbey open. So this is about money? The pilgrims bring donations, but the townsfolk don't? Don't be a fool, Mahler. Without the abbey, the shrine can't be kept in good condition and would be looted. The abbot's trying to protect the relic, nothing more. No one wants to destroy the hand of St. Moritz, Guy. The abbot is a cruel man, and you're no better defending him. I will do my duty as my vows, and my lord command me, Andreas. God bless you.
Hello? Who's there?
Hello, Sister Margaret. Andreas Mahler, the artist.
Oh, Master Mahler, Mother Illuminata said you'd returned. Is there someone else with you?
Yes, my apprentice Caspar.
Hello. God bless you, Caspar. You smell even more of paint than your master.
Sister Margaret is blind. She relies on her other senses, Caspar.
Oh, thank you? Haha, you're funny. Anyway, I should go. Mother Illuminati doesn't like it when we're distracted from our duties.
Of course. Until later, sister.
God bless you, Master Mahler, and you too, Caspar. We got a pet mouse fanger.
These kitties must be getting pretty old. 7 years. Okay, so she's already in the library, it seems.
Andreas. Oh, it's wonderful to see you again. How have things been for you in Nuremberg?
Actually, I've been in Krakow recently. Nuremberg is the same as it always is.
Ah, well, it's good to see you in any case. Forgive me for asking, but how did you find the music in Krakow?
Excellent. King Sigismund and the Archbishop of Wawel are patrons of ensembles and host foreign musicians at court.
Oh, that is wonderful to hear. I have heard Krakow is a beautiful city. I am glad they are making beautiful music as well. I love our music, of course, but I am interested in what is being created across Christendom. I suppose you came to pay your respects to Brother Piero. I'm so sorry, Andreas. He was a wonderful man and faithful servant of Christ.
That he was.
Well, despite the occasion, it is good to see you again. God bless you, Andreas.
Poking around, poking around. Ah, can't go in the secret library hole. Trying to see if there's anybody else around. Is Florian in here? Oh, there he is. Andreas Mahler, how wonderful to see you. Have you been well? Well enough, yes. Good, you look healthy. What brings you back here? I wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero. Ah, of course, I'm sorry, Andreas. I know it's a small consolation, but he lived a long life with little pain. He died quite suddenly during Lauds. He was well loved by everyone here, even those who might pretend otherwise. I'm sure he appreciates the gesture. As for your visit, I cannot speak with the abbot's authority, but you are always welcome company. Thank you. How have you been keeping yourself busy these last few years? I've been reading every Italian medical text Klaus Drucker can get his hands on. Really? How many is that? Oh, I haven't counted, but many. Leonico's text on the French disease, which might have been helpful for the Baron all those years ago. The Fasciculus Medicanae, a new printing from Venice, wonderful woodcuts. Oh, the flower of Medicino from Salerno. Did you know they've translated into Hebrew, Occitan? Imagine that. Imagine a peasant in the fields of Provence reading the medical wisdom of Salerno. Imagine a Polish mercenary doing it. Ha! I don't need to imagine it. What a wonder these books are. I got carried away. Anyways, it's good to see you, Andreas. Until later. Well, good. Florian's still himself. That's good. Nobody in here. Well, they got the blood off the walls. That's good. I'm surprised Gernot doesn't have more to say. Anybody in the refectory? God bless you, Brother Lucas. How have you been? Still working in the kitchen? Yes, I'm still assisting Brother Waclav. I've been making more complex dinners recently for Father Gernot. The rest of the brothers eat simpler fare, but the abbot has privilege of foods from around the world. Why does the abbot need such fancy foods? Well, he's the abbot. Father Waclav says the abbot always gets the best. He said Father Matthias was odd because he ate the same food as the rest of the brothers. I don't mind it, though. I've been learning a lot of new ways to cook recently. Oh, what are you cooking now? Oh, Dr. Waclav sent me to collect something for him, but I can't remember what it was. Something from the cellar, perhaps? Probably. There's so much in there, though. Maybe if I bring back a few onions, he'll be happy. We always need more onions. I'll leave you to it, then. God bless you, Andreas. Welcome back to Kiersau. What brings you back to the Abbey? I'm returning to Nuremberg, but wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero on the way. Oh, of course. His grave is well kept, I assure you. Thank you, Brother Waclav. I'm glad to hear it. You'll be staying in the Tassing long enough for the St. John's Eve festival. It may be simple compared to those in the cities, but everyone in Tassing looks forward to it. Really, Master Andreas, can we? Never one to miss a party. Yes, thank you, Master. I'm sure it's quite quaint compared to what you're used to. What is one of Tassing's biggest events? Anyway, I better get back to work. It's good to see you again, Andreas. God bless you. Hanging out with the cellar cat. The cat can have a little salami as a treat. Gotta treat the cat. Oh, Master Andreas, you've come back. Good to see you, Brother Volkbert. How are you? I'm alright. I have to get back to my work, though. Is something the matter, brother? I don't want to get in trouble again like last time. Why would you get in trouble? Remember when you had me dig up the grave? Oh, right. I suppose you did get in a bit of trouble. More than a bit, a lot. Father Abbot yelled at me, said I'd never be ready to take my vows for years. That's why I'm still a novice, even though Brother Lucas is already a monk. Prior Matthew watches me all the time. He doesn't trust me. So I mean no insult, Master Andreas, but I don't want to get in trouble again. I'm sorry, Master Mahler. Fair. I was wondering where he was. Oh, that's Cecilia's. And Brother Piero's. Those are the only ones we can look at. Alright, I guess we can get up here. How is Adok still alive? I saw him standing there.
Hello? Who is this?
It's Andreas, Brother Adok. Andreas Mahler.
Oh! Oh, Andreas, the fine young artist from Nuremberg.
Not quite so young anymore, brother.
No, you are still young. When you were last here, I thought I was old. I was wrong. Now I feel the true measure of years on these bones. Like the waves of the wide sea on the cliffs of Porthcrogan, time has worn me down. But enough of that. How have you been, Andreas?
Successful in body, if not in spirit.
I'm sorry, Andreas. Dreams of youth often do not survive the march of years. But take heart that the Lord was always here for us in times of sorrow.
You seem more at ease now than I was last here.
Do I? It may be so. I may have worked in the scriptorium beyond the limits of this body. It pained my joints and strained my brotherly love for Guy. The scriptorium took my sight and use of my hands, but when it closed, it also took the pain from my heart. The abbot is content in letting me serve the Lord through prayer and contemplation, and so it also contents me. I'm sorry, Andreas, but I must rest now. It's good to hear your voice at Kirsal again. God bless you.
God bless you, Brother Adok. Oh, Andreas, you're back. Hello, Sister Zdena. That's all you have to say. Hello. Oh, of course. God bless you, sister. Ah, still an ass, I see. Still, I hear you're a master artist now. I'm impressed. You know, I've grown as well in a variety of ways. I mean, we already banged the nun last time. Shall we finish what we began? Shh, don't be ridiculous, Andreas. I'm not indulging you again. Was it that bad? No, it wasn't. Just let it pass, won't you? You didn't have to endure the tongue wagging Mother Luminata gave me. Did you get in much trouble? I had to do penance, obviously, and I had to help Sister Gertrude in the garden for a whole month. It wasn't horrible. I enjoyed working outside on the nice days. The garden is beautiful. I was young and lonely. You have no idea how boring a convent is for a young woman. You have more freedom here than I do slaving away for patrons in Nuremberg. Huh, are you joking or just that stupid? I'm not like you, Andreas. I never chose this life. My family couldn't marry me off to anyone of higher rank, so they donated to the abbey. The amount was substantial enough for the abbey to take me in as a nun. I was forced to take the habit. I loved my life before Kearsarge. At least you chose your vocation. I was shoved into mine and forgotten. I had no idea. I'm sorry. I've accepted where I am now. I'll make the best of it as well as I can. Still, it's a pity we never got to finish that kiss. I guess I'll have to leave you wanting. I should return to my duties. Thank you for speaking with me, Andreas Mahler. Until later, Sister Zdena. Damn, the old scriptorum. But is there stuff upstairs? Gotta check for... Nope. Okay, everything's down there with Illuminata. Figured I'd check. God bless you, Andreas. It has been too long. I know the Father Abbot made it clear you were not to return when you left, but we had hoped to hear from you. Yes, my apologies. You're right, of course. It's good to see you again, Mother Illuminata. This is my apprentice, Caspar Ziegler from Salzburg. God bless you, Mother Superior. God bless you, young Caspar. No greeting for your favorite library helper? It's good to see you, sister. You as well. I'm sorry you have to see it in such a state. It sees very little use these days. What happened? After Baron Rothvogel's murder, we had fewer and fewer wealthy patrons. The small number that held out lost interest. It's easier to commission new work from the Guild of St. Luke, or individual masters in big cities like Nuremberg. Father Gernot saw no reason to keep the scriptorium or library open. Most of the books here have been suffering of neglect. After Mother Cecilia's death, neither I nor Sister Zdena had time to maintain our inventory. That's terrible. Kearsarge was one of the last monastic scriptoria in Bavaria. As Brother Piero was fond of saying, all things change in time. Now all that remains are books for sale to interested parties, a task that Father Gernot has entrusted to me. And Sister Zdena, of course. Well, I'm eager to look through your inventory. Master Andreas, maybe you could find a book for little Magdalene, something that's not in print yet. Excellent idea, Caspar. Parzival. Perhaps Klaus would not object to this romance, given its emphasis on Christian virtues. German's a little dated, but I'm sure she'll figure it out with Klaus's help. Who knows, maybe it will inspire her imagination. I think these are Latin translations of some of Origen's homilies. Looks like it's partially burned. Probably not a great gift for a young... Wait. This is the same bookhand as the notes I found when the Baron were murdered. Whoever wrote this is responsible for writing the notes. I need to ask Illuminata about this. Oh, snap. A copy of Jacobus de Varennes' Golden Legend. Every good Christians know the legends of the saints. And the Latin is simple enough, you should be able to read it before long. Oh, Richard de Bury's Philobiblon. It's a text on the collection and preservation of books. Hey, this is where Illuminata and Cecilia learned all their tricks. Certainly a good book for a printer's daughter. Albertus Magnus de Animalibus. It's ostensibly a bestiary, but it contains so much more knowledge on a variety of topics. This could inspire an interest in animals in the natural world. Beautiful illustrations as well. Have you decided on any books to purchase? Yes, just one. Let me double check. Go with that one. It contains a wealth of knowledge. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Klaus Drucker's daughter, Magdalene, will. Latin may pose a challenge for her, but I'm sure with persistence she can overcome it. Is there anything else you need? Yes, Mother Illuminata, what do you know about this book? I don't know anything. This is the first time I've seen it. Where did you find it? I've seen it on one of our lower shelves. I don't think it's in our catalog. It's burned around the edges. Why? How can I find out where it came from? Who wrote it? If it's not in our catalog, I'm afraid I don't know whom you could ask. If it was a recent edition, the only people who would know are Mother Cecilia and Father Matthias. Right. I didn't bring any books for summoning. A joke, Master Mahler? Anyway, it's a shame we can't figure out who penned this book. The author is the same person who wrote the letters I found while investigating the Baron's murder. The ones in the fine book-hand, Brother Adolf told me about them. Perhaps he knows something about this book. He's been here longer than any of us. Why would the person who wrote the letters have scribed a book in our library? Well, that's the question. Whoever did it is the thread puller. Huh? Someone who is manipulating people like Kirsau and Tassing, pulling the threads, provoked someone into killing the Baron. I thought one of the brothers killed the Baron. He did, but the Baron was lured to the chapter house by someone who knew Kirsau and Tassing's secret. Well, I'm afraid we can't be of any more help to you determining the book's provenance. However, as it's not in our catalog and it's already damaged, I doubt Father Abbott would mind if you kept it. Excellent, thank you. I'm glad someone bothered to save it from the flames. I wonder where Adoc's at. Oh, in here. Okay. Can't talk to him right now. Well, kind of go eat with the Druckers. You're back. Good. We're almost ready to sit down to eat. Would you and Caspar care to join us? Of course. Thank you, Klaus. Welcome back, Andreas. Caspar. Andreas, these are my friends, Benjamin and Rachel Summerfield. They're on their way back to Prague. Good day. Hello, excuse me for not getting up. It's a bit difficult. Of course, I understand. It's nice to meet you both. Hello. That sounded like a real word, Klaus. She's learning more than every day. She'll be reading before long. That's a wonderful segue to the gift that I brought her. Oh? Consider it a small apology. Well, alright, let's see the small apology. Here you are. Albertus Magnus de Animalibus. Andrea, she's only 2 years old. I am sure she'll learn quickly in a printer's house. Thanks for this. It's a nice thought. We should probably pray before we eat, assuming the Summerfields don't mind. Not at all. We're accustomed to being guests in Christian homes. Thank you for asking, Klaus. Alright, I'll lead the prayer then. Bless us, O Lord, in these gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen. Klaus, thank you again for letting us stay here. It's been such a long trip. Oh! Is it time? No, I'm fine. I think I'm just sore everywhere. Anyway, we'd hoped to get home weeks ago, but the fighting has made it slow progress from Basel. Has the fighting come close? Close enough. If we can hear the drums or see the armies, it's too close for me. Rachel being pregnant complicates things, of course. It's better to be cautious than full of regret. Lucky timing for me, though. Now I have 2 printers and a master artist at my dinner table. True, it isn't all misfortune. Daddy. Oh, yes, thank you. And a future printer and baby printer to be. Tassing hasn't seen this many artists under one roof in a while. It's amazing to see how far printing has come so quickly. Some of the engravings I've seen are incredible. And new techniques, new types, new styles are being developed every year. Benjamin is trying to create a more readable script for Yiddish. Okay, I thought they were Jewish. We have typefaces for Hebrew, but it would be nice to have something separate for Yiddish. How novel. Yes, it's still a developing typeface and usually only used in Jewish women's books. I'd like our writing to be more accessible, especially to those who only read Yiddish. Here, something like this. I'll be sure to send you some samples when I'm finished, Klaus. Good, I'd like that. Oof. Yes, I'm fine. Klaus, what are you working on? I need to get ready to sell to travelers as the pass is open, but lately I've been printing the 12 articles for town. 12 articles. Thanks to Father Thomas, everyone in town can read at least well enough to make it through that sheet. Got a lot of people talking, and a lot are coming over to Otto's way of thinking. Well, you heard him yourself, Andreas. What do you think of what's happening in Tassing? The abbot's always been an ass. What do you expect? You're not wrong. Remember what happened to Ottilia's house? The abbot took it away. She's lost everything. She works for Father Thomas now. She what? I was as surprised as you are now. We all were, but this was the only charity available to her. Sorry, not trying to bring up bad memories. I was just trying to say that things have been hard on the peasants for years. It's just gotten worse lately. If the abbey is in such a bad state, there must be someone the abbot can appeal to for more money. He could try to sit down with Otto and work something out. Otto's tried to reason with him. The abbot won't listen. We are sympathetic to what's happening here. We saw it all through Swabia. Peasants are suffering. It's true. I worry about what will happen in Tassing. Ow! I'm fine. Peasants are no match for the soldiers of the Swabian League. What is the Swabian League? Mercenaries, soldiers for hire, they rally for coin, not for the cause. We can't speak to their motives, as we tried to stay far from them, but they were intimidating even at a distance. The peasants aren't careful, Tassing could draw the wrong sort of attention. I know that Otto and the peasants are taking a risk, but I believe Otto will keep things peaceful. Anyway, it's not the Swabian League we have to worry about, but the soldiers of the Duke of Bavaria. Bavaria! The Prince Bishop has the church's authority, and the Duke's lands surround Tassing and Kearsau. Klaus, I'm sorry for showing up yesterday without writing. You had every right to be angry. I've been traveling so much I missed most of your letters. And so much time had passed when I finally heard about Bert and Marie. I'm sorry. Ow! Oh, this is it. This is it? Oh, no, I was afraid of this. We can't travel now. This is all my fault. We should have left Basil earlier. I love you, Benjamin. But be quiet. I don't care. I need help. Yes, we need a midwife. Is there one who would accept Rachel? Agnes Steinhauer, and she's Tassing's midwife. Could you get her? Klaus? Yes, I should get her. Agnes has delivered every child in Tassing as long as I can remember. She would never turn any woman away. Thank you. Klaus, you're a mensch. Enough with the thanks. Get me the midwife. Yes. Andreas, you're forgiven. Caspar, it was good to have you over, but you both have to leave. Of course. Good luck, Rachel. Thank you. I'll need it. I'll go fetch Agnes. Thank you for joining us, Andreas. I almost forgot. You should go see the bonfire preparations in the town commons. You missed them on your last visit. Klaus! I'm going. Thank you, Klaus. We'll be going. Take care. Anything different up in the north town? There wasn't... Oh. What's this? Oh, the Roth House. Nobody here either. Okay. God bless you, Andreas. I'm thankful you returned to Tassing after so long. We prayed so fondly for you after you left. Thank you, Gret. I've kept Tassing in my prayers as well, though it doesn't seem to have done much good. Ah, that's right. You were at Otto's speech earlier. Yes, Tassing's peasants are struggling, and now even we townsfolk are pinched by the abbot's new restrictions. I worry about my husband. He's getting too involved with the whole business. What Gernot is doing in Tassing is wrong. Otto is standing up to him. That's what Ulrich says, too. I love my husband, but sometimes I worry he focuses too intently on the details. He does not see he may be both a prudent and Christian. I pray that I'm not acting selfishly, but the abbot's taxes have affected us too. What about Anna's future? Ulrich has been offering credit to Peter for years, which I've accepted, but now we can only bake so much bread a week before we go hungry ourselves. Can you talk to him, Andreas? I'd rather not drive a wedge between you two. Oh, Ulrich and I aren't ones to hold anything against each other, but I understand. God bless you, Andreas. God bless you, Andreas. God bless you, Ulrich. How have you been? The Lord has been kinder to me than the peasants. These are difficult times for them, Andreas. They could use your help. My help? How? Talk to the abbot. He may respect your opinion more than mine or the peasants. I would have hoped he could see that his behavior is not Christian, but something is clouding his judgment. I'm not exactly in Father Gernot's good graces. How did he listen to anything I had to say? You must try, Andreas. Those men are fair and hardworking, but they've been pushed down for too long. They're becoming desperate, and desperate men can forget their faith and turn to violence. What if violence is the only language the abbot understands? When a man can't keep his family fed, he can only keep that pain inside for so long. Make no mistake, the peasants hold Father Gernot responsible for this. If there is fire in their hearts, we must pray for rain. I will do what I can, Ulrich. Thank you. God bless you, Andreas. Why do I feel like this chapter of the story is going to end with Gernot dead? Oh, very cool. Everyone seems to be working hard for the bonfire tonight. The commons look festive decorated like this. Look at all the flowers, Master, and the bonfire is huge. How's the fire coming? Those logs work out all right for you, Andres? Coming along. Nearly finished. Good, good. All right, everyone. Remember, after the bonfire tonight, we celebrate as usual. We will all gather in the woods, and the women will collect herbs as tradition demands. Otto, the abbot has forbidden harvesting in the forest. Please, for everyone's sake, reconsider your actions. Thank you, Father, but the abbot's order goes against God's laws. The forest belongs to all of us, as do the game and fowl and fish. He cannot claim ownership over that which the Lord gave us to hold in common. I'm sorry, Father. We'll proceed as planned. Tasking has never left anything get in the way of our St. John customs, as long as I can remember. We won't start now. And remember, tomorrow I will show you proof that as sure as the sun turns around the earth, God and our saints are with us. Good day, Andreas. Hello, Brother Watchlav. Looked upset at Otto's announcement. Is everything all right? Otto is becoming more aggressive in his defiance of the abbot. Father Gernot will not take this news well. Well, who's telling? Otto just announced his plan in the Commons, and Tasting is a small town. Of course the abbot will hear about this. Fair point, but why is the abbot so angry about it? Didn't you just hear, Father Thomas Andreas? The abbot declared the woods off limits. It's not for me to say. I'm sure the abbot will tell you more. He sent me with an invitation for you to dine with him tonight. I'm sure the father will want to discuss the situation over supper. Well, I suppose I can attend. Does the invitation extend to Caspar as well? I'm sorry, Andreas, but the Father Abbot has asked you to come to his house alone. Phew. Please tell the abbot I'll see him this evening. Well, I guess I'll see what all the fuss is about. I'll meet you back at the Golden Hand after dinner, alright? Can I help set up the festive decorations while you're with the abbot? Yes, I'll be back before sundown, alright? Yes, thank you, Master. I'll see you later. Master Andreas, you best not keep the abbot waiting. Go on, we'll meet up after supper. Cool. I'm here for Little Village Festival. That's awesome. God bless you, Andreas. I'm glad you received my invitation. Are you ready to eat? Yes. Good. Andreas, thank you for coming to dinner. I thought you didn't ever want to see me at Kirsau again, Father. What changed? Yes, well, the Lord calls us to forgiveness, even when that might be difficult. I think it's high time we reconcile, Master Mahler. Please sit, we will pray together. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. Lord, direct us, each of us, here towards your wisdom, prudence, and guidance in our future actions. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Brother Watchlaw was indeed prompt in delivering my message. I'm surprised you didn't drop by at all. You've done quite well for yourself, after all. It's good to see your time at Kearsarge was not squandered. You even look the part of the famous artist now. What have you been doing in recent years after leaving such a mess in Tassing? I spent most of my master years painting in Poland. I'm surprised anything is left there after all the rampaging of the Protestants. Krakow has a great deal of beautiful art, Father. Hans Dürer has made a home there as the king's artist. Surely you've heard of his or his brother's work. Does not excuse the violence and destruction against the church. The nobles have been doing more harm than the peasants, actually. They commission all sorts of sacrilegious work. But I doubt my travels are why you've asked me here. What's on your mind, Father? In truth, I had hoped to discuss the rising tensions between the abbey and townspeople. I'd like to clarify the situation for you, Andreas. Clarify what exactly? I simply want to ensure you understand the circumstances objectively from all angles. I believe you've only heard from one side of the issue, Andreas. Otto's little speeches about taxes don't account for the entire situation. Why demand such high taxes then, Father? What do we got? With the scriptorium closure, the taxes are necessary to make up for the lost income. Why not ask the bishop for help? Ask the bishop? I have the authority to keep the abbey running, so I will in the way I see fit. I will not shame the abbey that way. Brother Guy has gone over the expenses himself. Raising taxes is the best way to cover these costs. But what about prohibiting the peasants from using the forest? That's a new restriction. The forest belongs to the abbey, and the peasants have no right to use it. Legally, it's theft. God, in his wisdom, established the church with the law, and they would do well to remember that. But doesn't God's law account for graciousness and charity? The peasants have exhausted my graciousness and charity for too long already, and have little regard for the church's authority itself. The monastery and church exist to help stop such foolishness, and to help regulate mankind's sin and greed. The peasants and townsfolk have gone too far. I hear they will continue their disobedience by collecting herbs on St. John's Eve. The whole town knows I've forbidden it. The matter is grave. I'll excommunicate anyone who defies my order. You would condemn the town over something so petty? That is up to them. Remaining impartial will be impossible as long as you're in town. Support me in ending this foolish rebellion. You have a reputation in town, Andreas. You're a successful man, and the townsfolk believe they are like you. I'd like you to convince the other townsfolk, the printer for example, that this uprising is not in their best interests. The rest of town will follow, and the peasants will have no choice to resist. We can end this peacefully. Peasants are right, Father. You have been too harsh on them. I won't help you. How unfortunate. I see Otto's speeches have gotten to you. I was hoping to right his mistakes. Otto's vision will lead to violence, Andreas. I was hoping to avoid such an outcome. Please take more time to think about it. I apologize. We must conclude for now. I must excuse myself. I'm expected to lead a service at Compline tonight. Think on what we discussed, Andreas. I trust you can find your way out. I will, Father Abbot. Good night. Fuck no, we're gonna help the abbot. Power to the fucking people, man. No, I was thinking like the service was gonna be being held in there. So I could see what the heck was going on. Oh, hello, Master Mahler. You're looking well. Thank you, Smokey. How are you? I'm well enough, I guess. Foxlot went his way a few years ago, which I suppose was bound to happen. I miss the company sometimes, but now there's no one to keep me from my gossip. No one to tell it to, either. Have I missed much? The things I could tell you since you left Tassing. We'd be here till Kingdom Come. Oh? I did see another Imperial Reichspost courier ride from the Abbey a few days ago. The other guy dropped the bag once. It looked heavy. The Abbey must be doing better than the Abbot is letting on. Does that happen often? Once or twice a month, odd with what the Abbot has been saying about the Abbey struggling. Doesn't help the Abbot has tightened restrictions so close to St. John's Eve, too. The townsfolk get up to all sorts of mischief then. I remember those days. I'd wager Johann and Kat will find some corner to play in again. It's practically tradition at this point. Veronica and Brigitte might go out for a midnight dip in the waterfall, too. They've been swimming out there for years. Everyone's getting clever, trying to stay out from the Abbot's eye. Rightly so, he's an ass. I didn't see you in town commons during auto speech. Are you standing with the peasants? Well, their cause doesn't really affect me, does it? I'm as worried as anyone about soldiers rushing through here, but the new taxes and restrictions don't bother me. I understand why they're upset, but I've been doing fine out here with less than they have. Nothing will change for me if they get their way. You could still support them. I don't want to get involved. I'm fine as I am. Supporting them would be the proper Christian thing to do, I guess. But when have any of them done the Christian thing for me? Christian way is to help without expecting anything in return. It's the giving that counts. Easy for men of means to be benevolent. All I want is fairness, decency. I've given them my work for years, but they refuse to treat me right. They mock me for my blind face, since I have to keep a constant eye on the kiln for days on end and can't go to church as often. They laugh at the way I stink. I can't help that, you know. Hence, one must be even stronger of heart to forgive them their follies. I'm not sure I have it in me. Ah, well, enough of that. Thanks for stopping by, Master Mahler. Until later, Smokey. Come on, people. Treat your charcoal guy right. A painting of the Virgin Mary. What does the labyrinth symbolize? I don't think we hadn't been in here before.
Well, well. You're that artist, the one who lived with the Gertners. Got mixed up in the wonderful killing of that rat, the Baron.
Yes, Andreas Mahler.
I know your damn name. Anyway, no time to talk now, fancy man. It's time to call a fire.
Call?
Out Hans, Mama Perkda. Nostra non quesquad perti. Ve nus clementi. Ha ha!
Alright, I'm going to go.
Enjoy the evening, Andreas. But if you want my advice, stay out of the woods tonight. Ha ha!
Master Andreas, look at how big the bonfire is. The decorations are so fancy. The St. John's Eve Festival is a big event for Tassing. I missed it last time I was here. Haven't you ever been to a festival like this, Caspar? No, I've never seen anything like this. Can I stay at the bonfire and see the costumes and watch them collect herbs? Alright, but follow along and don't get in their way. I'm too tired for the festival. I think I'll just turn in for the night. Yes, I promise I won't make trouble. I'll see you tomorrow, Master. Andreas? Salutations! You must be that illustrious artist. Balthazar Eisenkopf, pleasure to meet you. Now call me Baltus, please. It's much more familiar. Master Andreas Mahler, pleased to meet you. Yes, you're Mahler, we all know. Let's cut the long-winded pleasantries. What brings you to Tassing, Baltus?
Baltazar here decided to stay in this godforsaken town for whatever unfathomable reason after his cart broke. It's not unfathomable. I enjoy the calming vistas, the peace and quiet. Has been neither lately. What is it that you do, Baltus? He is an inventor of sorts. I make all manner of mechanical contraptions. For all the use it is. The mind of an inventor exists to create, to build, to go one step further. One step further toward the garbage heap. A very inspiring thought, Baltus. Why, I thank you, Master Artist. Speaking of, have you had the chance to look around town tonight? I imagine the sights could also be inspiring to your artistic mind. What do you mean? Well, look at the peasant ingenuity on display. The bonfire itself, for example. It is built to allow the air and heat to flow through at great speed, and how it roars. It is a clever piece of construction, but Otto's a clever man. It is a feat almost worthy of a university degree. These people have natural traditions. They manage to figure out many clever things, even without the most cursory education. It is knowledge that hails from preceding generations, lived experience passed along a chain of time. Not quite the knowledge of a rigorously educated mind, perhaps, but nonetheless useful. You don't need a university education to be smart. Of course you would say that. Neither of you know these people like I do. God has assigned them their place in the order of the world for good reason. There is some merit in learning from the peasants, even you, Werner, given their understanding of herbal remedies. Their traditions are profane. Consider the Eve of St. John, tainted by their pagan rituals. It's an affront to Christ. St. Eligus warned us against precisely this nearly 1,000 years ago. Where did this newfound piety come from? Don't pretend to know anything about me. I've been on pilgrimage to Aachen. I visited the Marian shrine and stood in the presence of those holy relics. To be in the presence of St. John the Baptist's beheading cloth was an experience I will never forget. I'm glad you've had an experience. Your family must be proud. They are. Granted, now I think it's time you return to the festival. We're here to celebrate. Let you continue with your evening then. Good night. A very good night. Oh, and do come by my workshop, Master Mahler. I would love to exchange ideas. It would be my pleasure. Splendid. Until then, Mahler. Good evening, Andreas. Nice to see you here. Grandpa, look who it is. Eh? Oh, the artist. You're still around? Thought I'd stay to enjoy the festivities. Bah! You call this a festival? God. You haven't seen nothing yet. You're not going to tell the story again, are you? You kids need to learn it by heart, else Perkta will run you down. Ah, this is about the wild hunt. Yes, it draws near. Heed my warning. Grandpa, you're getting agitated again. It's not good for your health. Nonsense! I can outlive any bastard out here. So, where was I? The wild hunt? Yes! Did you bring your mask? I didn't realize I was supposed to bring one. Pah! The fools I have to suffer. The mask are to protect us as we banish the witches and spirits into Perkta's path. She punishes all humans she finds in the woods on St. John's Eve, since only witches are out in the wilderness. Anyone caught will be turned into animals. No one but a priest can turn you back. Well, I guess I can imagine a worse punishment. You joke, artist, but you won't be laughing when Perkta finds you. Stay indoors tonight. If you want to come outside, stay within the light of St. John's fire. At least St. Sasha blesses the herbs in the forest this night. And the women will gather the herbs regardless of that bastard abbot. It's certainly important to stockpile some for the winter. Thank you for teaching me more about local traditions. Eh? Hey, Big York! Hmm? You grab some of those ashes with you after the bonfire died down. Fine. What are the ashes for? Eh? It's to spread across the garden. Ensures a good harvest. Figures you city people don't know shit. Don't be like that, Grandpa. Now that the story time's over, how are you enjoying the evening so far, Andreas? I've spoken to a few other people here. Very enlightening. It's best to spend time with your friends. Have you heard anything interesting? Pah! Gossip. You two are like that burner in the forest. Smokey, that's the one. Always nosy about other people. Smokey is a bit inquisitive, but he's a good man. Pah, I guess he's not a bastard like the abbot.
I think we've taken enough of Andreas' time, haven't we? Enjoy the night celebrations until later.
Hello, Master Mahler. Evening, Till, enjoying the festival. Very much so. I perhaps feel a tad old for the most active side of celebrations, but I enjoy the sights and sounds. You know the word for the summer solstice leads back to the Romans.
Solstitium, the sun stands still.
Such as it looks at this time of year, the sun stands highly for a long time, and then it stays there before falling again. A fitting allegory for a great cosmic arc of mankind, rise and fall. But to make up for that, dancing, leaping, songs, joy, and mirth.
The Romans also had sacred celebrations for Juno and Vesta around this time, to gain blessings for marriage and family.
Sometimes it seems that the festivals are made up to cover for what the young folk get up to. We know there's no stopping them, really. Surely, Suze couldn't stop me at that age.
Young hearts are fickle and resolute.
And don't say just always enjoys a sense of danger.
I can't blame them. Such excitement gets the blood boiling, makes you feel alive.
I've had my share, thank you. I'd rather read about it these days.
Well, the Abbey's selling books from their library.
I hoped I could get some for myself, but they proved to be far too expensive. Klaus and his printings have proven to be most use and fair bit cheaper.
Does this mean you've read the 12 articles?
I have. But that is not a talk to be had on the Eve of Celebration, Master Mahler.
I see your point. Well, have you come across any interesting tales?
I have indeed, Master Mahler. Well, I didn't quite understand everything. The text was in Latin. It was by a Roman named Strabo. It was about geography. That's why I noticed it.
Ah, the noted philosopher and historian. He was actually Greek by birth. I imagine you're reading his Geographica.
Yes, that could have been it. The book was about many kinds of barbarians, which also included the Rati tribe I heard about years ago. The people who used to live on its wet land before the Romans arrived. He called this place Rastium and described it as a cluster of daub huts and its people hostile and warlike, only interested in hunting and fighting. There was something about Manus and his sons, but I couldn't understand a lot of it. In any case, when the Romans came, most of these locals here were driven out, but some were captured to work in the fields and the mines.
What happened to the locals who were forced out?
No idea. I would imagine that after the Romans were driven off, when their empire started falling apart, maybe the barbarians came back. But were they really the same people or nomads from elsewhere?
I guess we may never know.
Thank you for the quick history. I'll let you get back to the festivities. Enjoy yourself tonight, Master Mahler, until later.
Why, Martin, look who it is. Good evening, Andreas.
Andreas, you're staying for the festival, I hope?
Of course he's staying. Who would miss this, especially after you burly boys built such a beautiful bonfire?
A burly boy like me would do anything for you, love. Couldn't help myself.
Brigitte, Martin, you're both feeling festive, I see.
The food, the fires, the dancing, it really is a night to enjoy.
It's to honor the anniversary of the birth of Blessed John, a vigil.
Yes, and he'd have liked everyone to have a good mood in their hearts and good food in their bellies.
That's a hermit who wandered in the desert living off locusts and wild honey. He probably wouldn't agree.
I'd like to live off some wild honey myself, if you catch my meaning.
So, are you going to heed Otto's call and go into the forest?
No, I'm really not looking for trouble. There's enough of that going around.
And you, Brigitte, not gathering any herbs?
My place is by Martin's side. The word of the abbot is the word of the church. It's improper to go against the word of the church. Only slightly less improper than all the time you spend with Veronica. Oh, Brigitte, I'm sorry. It was a joke. It came out poorly. It's good for the heart to have cherished friends.
It's fine. Andreas, I was about to say the bonfire's enough. We will dance until our legs begin to waver, right, Martin?
Would not miss it for the world.
That's delightful. Hope you have a great evening.
You as well, Andreas.
Evening, Andreas. Say, how do you like the bonfire? We built it nice this year, big and sturdy.
Fine setup, Carl. Excellent work.
I know we can compare to where you come from, but we give it our all. Celebration of the light who prepared the way for our Lord. Anton, you remember Andreas Mahler, the master artist?
Yeah, I've seen him around town.
Son, be polite.
Hello, Master Mahler. How are you?
I am well, thank you, young man. Anna's a good boy, let me tell you. A bit of a rascal, as you can see, but he's got a good head and a good heart. Likes to hide it, though. Dad, will you stop? Ha! Easy to rile you up, just like your mother. How's Helena? Is she not attending the bonfire? She'll join us later. She went with Martha to dip their toes in the stream and pick some flowers for garlands and wreaths. It's important to hold to your traditions. You're right, especially with the times we're having. Besides, maybe Martha and Helena will come across the blossom of a fern out there. What's so funny about that? Ferns don't flower. That means no power to speak with animals for you, boy. In Poland, young couples go into the woods together searching for the fern. It's like an engagement ritual. Ah, I like that, as long as they also make their vows before God. Will I be going into the woods with the girl soon? You know, Anton, it's not the time or the company to talk about that. Let's just enjoy the celebrations. Speaking of, what do you think of the festival so far, Anton? It's fine, I guess. I like the fires when they're lit. Fountains get to twinkle like the stars. I don't like when people get drunk and rowdy. They get into fights. But your dad keeps the trouble away, yes? Yeah, he doesn't like it when those damn bastards go too far. Language, boy. God doesn't look kindly on blaspheming. But those are your words, Dad. Best you don't quote me. Quote the scripture instead. Better for your soul. Listen to your father, Anton. I will. I do, Jesus. Hey, what did I just say? Don't let your mother catch you with that mouth. Well, I'll let you get back to the festivities now. A pleasure. Until later, Andreas. Bye. Well, I think we've gotten the whole gang. What happens if I go in the woods? Okay. I wasn't sure if there was going to be like anybody down here. Hmm. Ooh, nice. We're going to our little dream land again. Oh, hey. A labyrinth. What is it? Come home. I will, soon. You're lying. Sometimes I think you must despise me. Maybe it's worse than that. Maybe I'm nothing to be regarded at all. What am I to you now? An annoyance? A bother? A nuisance to be ignored while you lead another life in Krakow? Is there ever an ounce of love in your heart for me? Of course there was. But no longer. I hate talking. Yeah, no, we're gonna say that. Fine. Go back to your whores, the women who make you happy. This house is so lonely without him. Stop. Your presence would only amplify the grief. Stop! Leave me alone. Leave me alone with the memory of him. Stop. Just leave me alone. Just for one night. One night where I don't have to dream about him. Please. Thank you. Hello, August. I know you weren't going to say anything. You never say anything. I'm sorry I couldn't do anything for you. I suppose there's not much one can do against plague. You get tired where you are? Last time I saw you, I said goodnight to you. Couldn't come to bed, so I just stood in the doorway, just stood in the dark. Didn't say anything back. I don't know how long I stood there, just waiting for you to say goodnight. You still look the same age to me. Wonder if I'll ever forget your face. Do you remember your mother as she is? I remember loving her. Can you ever picture someone clearly if you love them? I loved you, little boy. Sometimes I wish I could die so I wouldn't feel it anymore. But I can't. So I retrace my steps every night and find my way back to her. Back to you. Love you, August. Good night. Damn, so we lost a kid to the plague? Jeez. Whoa. What happened to this place? Where is Prester John? And where are Socrates and St. Grobian? Grobian wasn't on the ship of fools. Melancholia. Won't you answer me? No thoughts for Beatrice? You are Beatrice, aren't you? Once. I was a voice of caution, of prudence. And now? More and less than caution. The ache of doubt that stiffens to paralysis. Paralysis that breeds despair. Melancholia. What happened to the others? What happens to you happens to us. The foundations of the city are still moored within the ocean of your mind. Its court does not rule your mind rules the court. Once reason, curiosity, and foolishness of youth dwelt under the aegis of your intellect. I am all that remains, the melancholy of life's autumn. But it is only June. Wit can't save you from your own mind, Andreas. What can? A course other than the one you have already run. Another course? I'm 33, I have a wife, a workshop, clients across the empire. And it's brought you here, Andreas Mahler. What am I supposed to do about it now? Change your life. Wait, I shouldn't be here. I needed to help someone. Is Caspar alright? Ah, so your thoughts aren't entirely turned inward. There is still something in you that cares for others in spite of your melancholy. Perhaps there is still hope for us. Wake up, Andreas. Oh dear. Something better not have happened to my boy. A lot of commotion tonight. Sounds like everyone's gone to the woods. Who was that ran off? Master Andreas, what are you doing out here? Caspar, thank God. I was worried when you didn't come back. Where have you been? I was at the bonfire with Killian, but I heard a ruckus from deeper in the woods, so I left to go see what it was. Father Gurnet, what are you doing out here?
I was chasing one of the townsfolk, but lost track of the costume buffoon. The forest is off limits. I'll figure out who's breaking the rules and excommunicate them myself. What was that? Someone is screaming in town. They're really taking this nonsense too far this year.
What are we all still doing here? Come on.
Huh. I've never seen these flowers before. I wonder where they found them. Who's that running off anyway?
It's too hard to tell who's who in those stupid costumes. Who cares? Let's go see what the screaming is about. Oh dear.
Werner, is he dead? Yes, I'm afraid so. Someone released the rope. The platform crushed him.
What? How did this happen?
Baltus and Lenhart and I heard the crash and stepped outside to see what had happened. Right, and then we saw a figure in costume rushing off from the rat house.
Must have been whoever released the rope.
And what were you doing during all of this, Lenhart? Enjoying a light meal with these gentlemen. Ah, what a shame you can't blame me for this, Peter. Casper, look to see if Otto had a note.
Huh?
Do it. No, Master, there's nothing.
Are you certain?
What were you expecting?
I'm not sure.
My God! Otto! No.
You. The abbot must have killed him. The bastard always had it out for Otto. We all knew it. We need answers.
How dare you? I won't just stand here and be accused of such a foul act by a peasant.
Go after him.
Wait, no, the abbot was with us. He's innocent. Casper is right, even if we don't have any proof. Grab the artisan, the boy, too. We'll get to the bottom of this. Casper, run.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Brothers! To the library now.
They ran through the church this way.
They've locked the door. Andreas, get out of the way. Otto's death demands justice. The abbot couldn't have killed Otto. He was with us when we found the body. That's true, we did arrive with you, but you don't know where he was before that, do you, Andreas? Who else would want to kill Otto? Coward, killer. Andreas, move. don't like his stance any more than you, Peter, but violence is not the answer here. If those monks don't come out, we'll set fire to the whole place and cook them. You've all gone mad. You all have good reasons to hate the abbot, but he's not the culprit here. It doesn't seem like the abbot could really kill Otto, does it? Fine, damn it, you've got one day to find whoever you think is the real killer, Andreas. The rest we will come back for the abbot. Andreas, all I want is justice for my husband. Please, you must find the murderer. Eva, Otto was a good man. I won't stop until I find who killed him. Oh boy. The peasants are really convinced that Gernot killed Otto, but it was impossible. It was no secret that Gernot and Otto were at odds. Many of the peasants hate the abbot and would like to see him suffer like they have. Master, Peter was furious. He only was giving you a day to find the murderer. Why'd you even agree to find out who really killed Otto anyway? It didn't turn out well last time, did it? Why do it again? The law needs to be upheld. If no one else will do it, I will. That's one way to look at it, Master. So who do you think did it then? Where do we even start? We should talk to Linhart. He always hated the peasants and supported the abbot. He was very vocal against Otto in the town commons the other day. Even if he didn't kill Otto, he might know who else had motivation to. What about Martin Bauer? We saw him talking to Otto. They seemed to be arguing over something. It's not likely. Martin supported Otto and the peasants. It'd be worth talking to Martin to see what they were discussing. Good idea. Who else? I'm sure we can find some other suspects. I'll do some more investigating to find out who the murderer is, but we better move fast. Could the murderer confess to Father Thomas? Well, maybe. Even if the murderer did, Father Thomas is bound by the seal of confession. He won't tell us. However, we could eavesdrop on confessions. Since St. John's Eve just happened, the townsfolk will all come in to confess. Oh yeah, one of the townsfolk might have heard something anyway. That's a good place to start. We could also ask around the Golden Hand. A pint or two might loosen some tongues. What about the person who ran by us in the forest? They were wearing these flowers. I'd never seen them before. Right. We have to find the source of those flowers in the woods. That might give us some sort of connection to the killer. We have a lot of good places to start, even though time is short. We have a good chance of finding the real killer. Let's get to work. Alright. Well, I think... we'll call that a good spot to stop for tonight, I think. As we get into things. Let me see who else is on. Let's go to Zordon. Playing Chrono Cross. A nice old classic. Well, cool. We will pick up more Pentiment later on. Things are getting spicy again. Oh boy. Thanks for coming. We'll see you later.